Hello and welcome to the Enhancement Talent. It's Eric Cornish along with my sidekick.
Happy to be back. I am the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM. Welcome to Thursday's Enhancement Talent. Between these two portions, we will cover our predictions for Sunday's Payback pay-per-view, if that's what we're calling it.
Pay-per-view.
That's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
The TV they're still calling it.
I
I heard
noticed
they
that.
weren't going to.
I thought they were going to move toward big events or whatever, but they're still calling it pay-per-view. So yeah,
That's fine with me. I like that term.
Yeah, I know, and it's just kind of, it's kind of like in the radio business how we still call them records.
Yeah. Well, okay, to be fair, though, they are records because the definition of a record is a recording.
Oh, that's true.
So what we are playing are recordings, but they're not vinyl records in that
Yes.
sense. So.
Okay. Well, in this
But a good
case,
comparison.
you're still paying not per view, but per month. So
And you know what? Technically, you still could be paying per view if you are not on the network.
that's true.
So
All right, well, let's get to it. Payback. Interesting, card that they have here. We're going to cover in part one some of these undercard matches. But first, before we get to the undercard matches, this will be a big segment and practically a match in the card where Daniel Bryan is going to make his decision regarding the WWE World Heavyweight title with Stephanie McMahon.
before I cover that real quick, I do want to say the card they might as well call us Extreme Rules 2 because so many matches are the same or just little variations of the same thing. Daniel Bryan, at this point, I hate to say this, they are losing me a little bit. I don't care what you do, just let me know what you're going to do. So I'm ready for that on Sunday. If you make him wait and hold it, I hope you have some sort of plan B ready to go. If you're going to strip him and do something with it, I hope you make it cool.
Well, they're going to obviously keep him in the fold of the stories. Otherwise they would have just taken it off of him and just forgot that he was a part of it. So I think that's not a bad angle to take, and putting it front and center on the pay-per-view. I've got to think Kane's going to be involved somehow in this segment because he's not on the card.
I would think so, but I hope they don't just hand it to him. That would really irritate
Right,
me.
yeah. Let's not do that. I've heard rumors that Money in the Bank could come into play because Money in the Bank is coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they'll throw that in instead of Money in the Bank this year, kind of drop that angle for a year and just make the title on the line, which would be interesting, I think.
He's not going to be out too long, though, is he? It's just a couple of weeks, right?
I'm still not sure. I think we're talking at least a month or two.
Okay.
So
yeah, maybe we should.
I think it puts him back into that storyline, the underdog and fighting from underneath. I just hope he doesn't get buried,
But
in the crowd.
It needs to be said again. You absolutely called this title run with Daniel Bryan.
Oh, it's
been a disaster, whether
It
it's
has
fault
been,
or not. It's been a disaster, and
just-
you called that.
Yeah, things that just happening around him. I mean, the booking was bad enough, but then you get all these other things that happen to him, like his father passing away and like this neck injury. It's a shame. It's a shame, really. But maybe that'll just make him a bigger star in the long run, and I certainly hope so. And let's not forget that Payback also happens in Chicago. I don't want to be one of those guys. I don't, but Something involving a certain tattooed straight edge superstar could happen. I don't see it happening.
I don't either.
But
I haven't even given it a thought.
Can you imagine if he was part of the the Authority and comes back as a heel? I mean, how cool! I mean, that would be
interesting.
That would just mess with everybody in Chicago's mind. But anyway,
I don't know if they wouldn't know what to do. It's like
Yeah.
we see him, but we don't like him anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. But,
Let's tackle
but we'll
the
see.
big match on the
Let's
show
do it.
Sunday.
Huge.
Let's start with Hornswoggle and El Torito.
I mean, let's see. El Torito, and it's mask versus hair. This is the problem. Like, why did we have to have a tail being removed to set up a huge gimmick match like this? I mean, normally a hair versus mask match would be a big deal. But in this case, we had the tail involved, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, and Hornswoggle's putting his hair up.
You could build up to this, have like
Sure.
a tail on a pole match, or have a a tail ladder match, or a step stool match, or whatever they would call it. There's a lot of ways you can go.
Yeah, exactly.
They're jumping to the end, but you know what? To be honest with you, their feud has not been bad.
No, it hasn't. And honestly, I liked the WLC match. I thought it had some pretty good action in it. So this one I think will be fun too. And
really hoping they keep the small commentators off this.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. And I think this would be interesting. I think Hornswoggle's losing his hair.
That's what I would think too, but it could go either way. I mean, Torito, his mask, what's it been around for? 6 weeks?
Yeah.
It's not like Rey Mysterio losing his mask or anything like that, but I would expect to see Hornswoggle get shaved. Who knows what will happen with the tail? Time will tell. You want to move on to the women's match?
Yeah, the Divas title match is Paige defends her title against my girl, Alicia Fox.
I wouldn't call her my girl. I would say, if anything, I prefer Paige. She will probably retain, but I will say that they've got the Divas division in a pretty good spot because they both are people. They're two wrestlers that people care about right now. And honestly, when's the last time you had two divas that people cared about?
Yeah, it's been a long time. And,
So,
I mean, AJ Lee, a lot of people cared about. It'll be interesting to see when she comes back. Again, you know, we talked about CM Punk. Maybe she'll be there in Chicago and make an appearance, but I don't see how she would fit into this feud. So, you know what? I'm actually going to go for a title change. I think maybe they rushed Paige, and I think Alicia Fox takes the title.
Alicia Fox is on the top of everybody's mind in the Divas division, but I feel like it's too soon. But this is a Divas division. It could go either way. I'll just, for argument's sake, I'll say Paige.
All right, good deal. And then we move on to Big E versus Rusev. This is interesting because, you know, a couple months ago, Big E was kind of in the position that Rusev is in, and now Big E is facing Rusev, and I don't see that faring well for Big E.
I agree. I think that Rusev, to a lot of people's dismay, has not dropped the ball yet. There hasn't been a single thing that I can point to say, look, he's not ready. And I think that they're not like putting all their eggs in Rusev's basket, but I think that they're putting the machine behind him a little bit, and I expect to see Rusev win, as he should. I think he's doing a great job.
All right.
Do you like him yet? Or?
You know what? I don't dislike him, but at the same time, I don't expect him to be a huge star for very long. I think he will just kind of flounder mid-card or below and be one of those superstars, main event guys in the long run, and eventually change to a comedic gimmick.
It could very well happen, but he hasn't screwed up yet.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a break here? Let's come back with part 2. So just scroll down a little bit, click the next video. We've got another half of the show to talk to, including the big main event. So stay tuned. The Enhancement talent is going to come back.
The tag team champions of the internet right here.
That's us. You're looking at the face of the internet. Enjoy.
3 minutes.